Hey guys, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and I'm here to talk about Solo, a Star Wars story. I am not giving a spoiler review because in all honesty, Josh sent me a review for this channel and you can click it right here. He is a huge Star Wars fan and his review is excellent. I did not want to do a review to back up his review because I was a little intimidated. He knows his stuff. The review is solid. I've seen it multiple times. It's great. So go click on that if you want to hear a review. I'm not here to review it, but I am going to talk about the 5 things that I love about Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, a couple of things. This is going to contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen it and you do want to go watch it and you don't want to be spoiled, stop right here, pause the video, and go to the movie theaters, watch Solo, and then you can come back and see if you enjoyed the things that I enjoyed. Also, if you enjoy things like this, if you enjoy things like movie reviews, if you also enjoy trailer reactions, go ahead and click the subscription button down there, and that way you'll see the videos as I come out. And if you can't wait and you have to know exactly when they're posted, click that notification bell, and you will always know when I post stuff right at the very moment. Having said that, let's talk about those 5 things I love. Number 1. Supporting characters. Yes, I know this is not much of a spoiler, but Chewbacca and Lando Calrissian are in this movie. They are both excellent. I would go as far as to say I like Chewbacca and Lando more than I like the title character of Han Solo. Chewbacca's relationship with Han grows as the movie progresses. You can understand more about his motivations, and you can understand what he's saying without actually understanding what he's saying. There are no Kashyyykian subtitles at the bottom to where you could be like, oh, so that's what that means. No, you just hear the growls and the roars, but because there is so much nonverbal communication coming from Chewbacca, you know exactly what he's saying. It's a great portrayal, one of the best portrayals of Chewbacca, in my opinion, because you get to know him a whole lot more than just some side character. And then let's talk about Lando Calrissian. Lando Calrissian, the space pimp. Okay, maybe he's not a space pimp, but I mean, you might as well go ahead and call him a space pimp. He's got so many capes. I mean, who wears that many capes? A superhero or a pimp? Lando's no superhero. There's one thing about Lando, and is that he is smooth. Oh my goodness. Donald Glover portrays the smoothest Lando, makes Billy D. Williams proud, in my opinion. I can't speak for Billy D. Williams, but I'm pretty sure he was like, that's right, baby. If you're gonna go watch this movie for anything else, watch it for those 2 supporting characters, and then the next few things that I'm gonna mention are other reasons to watch it. The second thing that I loved about this movie is Rio. Now, Rio, you may not know who that is. In this movie, there is a smuggling group led by Beckett, who's played by Woody Harrelson. And he's got a few people on the group. One of the people who is his pilot in the original group is Rio. Rio is a CGI character with 4 arms and 2 legs. So he's kind of like a little mini Goro because he's not very tall. And he's voiced by Jon Favreau. If there's one thing that Jon Favreau does well, is supporting characters. And this one, even though he's briefly in the movie, is no exception to the rule. He is great. He's got these quips. He's got these fun one-liners. He knows how to have a good time. And in the end, he still gives good advice to Han Solo right before he dies. R.I.P. Rio. I love Rio as a character. I wish I could have seen more. Number 3 thing that I loved about Solo, a Star Wars story, is L3. L3 is the droid that helps pilot the Millennium Falcon with Lando Calrissian. And this is not your C-3PO. This is not your R2-D2 or your BB-8. This droid has an attitude. She's full of sass, and there's a whole lot of personality with this droid. I loved when she would sass and backtalk Lando, and she would talk about equal rights for droids. And I mean, it's one of those things where as a human or as a humanoid character, you'd be like, you're a droid, But then there's a scene where she starts to, quote, die, unquote, and Lando's like, that's my girl. I gotta get her out. And he runs through this firefight to save her. And I was just like, I would too. L3 is amazing. I loved L3. And plus she's got the best map of the galaxy around, and she actually becomes integrated within the Millennium Falcon circuitry. So technically, she's still there, but without the sass, without the back talk, without the personality that I think made L3 great. Number 4 thing that I loved about it, and it's actually the lowest on the list of the things that I love, but it's the Kessel Run. All through Star Wars lore, if you're talking about Han Solo, the one thing that he will make sure you don't forget is that he did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Now, parsec is a measure of distance, not of time, and so for the longest time, people were like, why does this matter that he covered a distance of 12 parsecs when that's distance itself? But in the movie, they had to do it within a specific amount of time, but it was 20 parsecs away, and he shaved 8 parsecs off by taking a route that nobody would ever take. And even though, like I said, it's not my most favorite thing as far as the movie's concerned, I loved actually seeing the backstory behind how Han Solo did what he did. And the 5th thing that I loved about Solo, a Star Wars story, is the return of Darth Maul. Darth Maul is back, baby. Even though it's just for a small amount of time, we get to see that he did not die in Episode 1, and Ray Park is back to reprise the role of the insidious Sith Lord. He's there talking with Kira, who's a character I really didn't like, but I'm not talking about things I don't like. I'm just mentioning that. And it turns out that he's got some things going in motion. I love the fact that he's still there. I did not watch any of the animated Star Wars series, but the fact that he's back is great. And I gotta tell you a little backstory. I was a little bit spoiled because I knew that he was going to be in this movie before I ever watched the movie. I was in Comic Palooza in Houston, and I went to the Ray Park panel, and before the panel, they said, not everybody's seen Solo. Please keep your questions about Darth Maul out of it. And I turned to somebody and I said, Darth Maul isn't in Solo, is he? And they were like, oh yeah, he's in it. So somebody kind of already told me. It was a little bit spoiled from that notification, but it's all great. I love the fact that he was in the movie. So those are the 5 things that I loved about Solo, a Star Wars story. Let me know the 5 things that you loved about the movie in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends. And as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.